Okay, good morning. Third time's a charm. My name's Coral Causeway. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees here at First Unitarian. And before we start our opening, I just want to welcome the Senior Minister of First Universalist, Reverend Eric Banner. So he and Mike are doing a pulpit exchange. So Mike is down talking to his congregants, and welcome, and thank you for coming up here to talk to us. I'm happy to see the sanctuary full, but we're going to make this announcement again. So for those of you, if you have seats in the middle of your row, please scooch in so that the people who are coming in late can actually see where the seats are. We appreciate that, and they will appreciate that as well. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whether you carry joy or sorrow in your heart, you're welcome here. All people of goodwill are warmly invited to join us on the great journey of the mind, the heart, and the spirit. If this is your first time with us today, welcome. Please let the offering basket pass you by. Your presence is gift enough. And we would love to get to know you a little better and answer any questions you have about our congregation and our community in the coffee hour in the community room right outside those doors after service. You can also visit the visitor information table, where there's obviously more information there. If you are interested in getting more involved in the workings of this church or the activities that we do outside our four walls, please visit the opportunities table at the back of the sanctuary. There are plenty of activities that could use a few more helping hands, and we would like to match you with something that inspires you. I will make an announcement to please silence your cell phones and other devices, and we do have a few announcements this morning.
Thanks, Coral. My name is Tyler Watlington, and I am on your endowment committee. Our applications have opened as of now, and you can submit an application by April 15th. Just as a reminder, funds from endowment allow you to, they're extra funds that give people the opportunity to request projects that don't normally fall under the operating budget. So be creative. We take a lot of projects each year, and paper applications will be in the back at the opportunities table. If you need an electronic copy, email endowment@fusden.org. Thanks.
Good morning, First Unitarian. My name is Eric Holwitz. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees, and it is with great pleasure today I come to tell you all about an event that's happening this afternoon from 1 to 7 p.m. Together Colorado, which is the kind of hub of interfaith organizing in these very uncertain and trying times, is having a organizer training event for people that are part of faith-based organizations such as ours at Montview Boulevard Presbyterian Church from 1 to 7 p.m. I know that me and many of the rapid responders will be there. Some of them will be attending our effective meetings training that's being hosted by Paul Reeder this afternoon until 2 p.m. But I'm encouraged to see some of your faces over there this afternoon, if possible, and let's learn about what we can do in order to confront and organize against authoritarianism in this time. Thank you.
I also have an announcement from the Stewardship Council. As you all know, our stewardship campaign is ongoing. To please, if you have not yet responded to your ambassador, stewardship ambassador, if they are attempting to contact you, please respond to them or return your pledge. And there will be members of the Stewardship Council that will be in the sanctuary after the service that can answer any questions you have and take your pledge card. I also want to note that on the first and third Sunday of the month, the offering here at First Unitarian is donated to an organization outside our four walls, which has been chosen by our Giving in Action team. This week, it's the Harm Reduction Center. So just know that all your donations in the basket will be provided to the Harm Reduction Center unless you designate otherwise. So please take a moment, just a moment, to greet the people around you.
Good morning. We have a little joining our voices song teaching this morning for you out of our last hymn of the day, Life Calls Us On. So we're going to do some call and response. Let's see how you do. Reverence now we gather. Try it. And one. Here in reverence now we gather. Here's the next part. For the blessings we have known. Your turn. One. For the blessings we have known. My turn. With a pledge to one another. Your turn. And one. With a pledge to one another. My turn. That we journey not alone. Your turn. And one. That we journey not. Okay, and then we'll do the chorus. 2, 3, 1. Joy and sorrow make us wise. Your turn. 1. Joy and sorrow make us wise. One more line of verse. Kin to all that lives and dies. Your turn. 1. Kin to all that live. Now the chorus. Sing with me. Love calls us on. Love calls us on. You got it. Thank you and welcome. Would you join us in singing our welcome song today? We are many, we are one. The light of the world is within you. Sacred and worthy is your soul. A place has been made for you. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. I'm Vanessa Johnston, and our call to worship today was written by Brett Stevens in an essay called My Liberal Faith. He writes, "What is a liberal faith? There are specifically political ways of addressing that question. That is, faith in a liberal order that puts the protection of individual liberty, conscience, and initiative at the center of its concerns. That's a faith I share, even if I don't subscribe to the more common understanding of liberalism as a program of big government responses to economic and social problems. But what I'm writing about here is something more personal, liberal without the ism. This is liberal as an attitude toward life, an openness to new ideas and different ways of being, a readiness to accept doubt, ambiguity, uncertainty, and contradiction. An ability to hold a conviction while occasionally allowing it to be shaken. A right to change your mind and reinvent yourself. It is the belief that, at its best, a liberal faith can be a more honest, interesting, and rewarding approach to life than alternatives based in tradition, dogma, or ideology. My liberal faith is rooted in 3 well-known lines that have stuck with me over the years. From Thomas Jefferson, the pursuit of happiness. From Learned Hand, the spirit of liberty is the spirit which is not too sure that it is right. And Pericles, happiness depends on being free, and freedom depends on being courageous. Once again, welcome.
Okay, good job, friends. We're going to go up front in just a minute, okay? Let's let the singers come off the stage for my story time. We got to let them move first. All right. Okay, give it up for my little friends. Wow. That takes a lot of courage to get up there. All right, come on, friends. That took a lot of courage. I am so proud of you. Are you proud of yourselves? Yes. Yeah, it was fun. Absolutely, it was fun. You could. They want to do it again 3 million times. Are you ready for us, Wyatt? Wyatt and Leah, are you ready for us? Every Sunday. Oh my goodness, that was fun. Okay, friends, we have been, I can tell we need a breath. We've been talking about breathing. So let's take a big belly breath. Everybody, hands on your breaths. Older friends, you can join us. Hands on tummies. We're going to breathe in and breathe out. One more time. You ready, Luca? Hand on belly. Ready? Sometimes when we're excited, breathing can help us too, right? So today, friends, I want to ask you a question. Actually, two. If you could think of 2 words to describe yourself. Just think in your head. 2 words to describe yourself. And the second question is, where can you really be yourself and show those 2 important qualities? So let me model first. You ready? So my name is Miss Leslie. And I would describe myself with 2 qualities of silly and kind. And I can really be my authentic self here at church because I can be silly and kind. Do you think I do that when we're here? Yeah. All right, Hemming, do you have 2 words you would describe yourself?
My name is Hemming, and I say mine is curious and I think funny.
Curious and funny. And where can you be your authentic self and be those 2 things? Ooh, in nature. I love it. Tessa.
My name is Tessa, and I should describe myself as funny and kind.
Funny and kind.
Where I can be is at church with all my friends.
Oh, at church with all her friends. Big heart for you. All right, Lawrence, last one.
I think I'm pretty much like a monkey and pretty curious.
Like a monkey, okay. And where can you be your authentic monkey self?
Monkeys are animals.
That's all right. Where can you be yourself?
And I always be funny.
Okay.
And I think I'd be I think I would be like at school with my friends.
At school with friends. You think he should be in the jungle? Well, that's usually where monkeys are. That's usually where we find monkeys. All right, my friends. Okay. So friends, let's take a breath. All right, friends. So Piper, you haven't been here in a few weeks, but we've been doing a few breaths, and we have our friends in the audience also do it with us. So 3 choices because we're kind of squished. Would you like us to do balloon, belly, or roller coaster? Which one? Balloon. All right, so balloon breath. Adult friends, if you remember, we breathe in and breathe out. One more. All right, and 2 quick announcements before we go, my excited friends. We do have the teen space open today, so if there are any teens, just want to go hang out. We've got adults down there to hang with you if you'd like. And Matt Tisser, is Matt Tisser here from Quest Camp? Okay, all right. All right, we are ready. Let's go to class. Vámonos.
Good morning. If you would rise in body and or spirit as we sing our next hymn, Building a New Way.
Good morning, FUSD. Today we're going to help out the Harm Reduction Action Center, and I think there's one or two board members and volunteers in the audience. Could you stand up so the rest of the congregation could see who you are? Thank you. Thank you. The very most important thing to remember is that HRAC is committed to public health. The Harm Reduction Action Center promotes public health by ensuring that people who inject and smoke drugs are educated and equipped with the tools to reduce the spread of communicable diseases such as HIV and hepatitis C, and to eliminate the proliferation of fatal overdoses. Our fixed site provides syringes and smoking equipment access to participants in our Denver program Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12. Health education, street outreach, presentations, meetings, and administrative time happen in each afternoon. So they're busy. We take our commitment to public health and harm reduction seriously and meet our participants where they are at in the spectrum of their drug use. In addition to our syringe access program and providing smoking equipment, our compassionate harm reduction trained staff helps participants take active stock in their own health and welfare by connecting them to participate in our core services and other local resources. It's now my privilege to introduce the Assistant Director of HRAC, Ruth Canicer.
Good morning. Thank you for having us. My name is Ruth Knatzer, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Harm Reduction Action Center. You got the basics from my lovely host, and what a wonderful introduction. Thank you. I think what I'm reminded of being here right now is the building of community. So you might want to call me impatient, but I think that it's important to not wait, to remind that people and all of our neighbors that they are part of a community. I don't want you to think that you need to wait until you think you can change in your life, that you need to wait until you can reach a perfection that may not be attainable to make a positive change. This is the way that our center allows people to build on our core principles of celebrating any positive change, and that change can begin where they are with the support of the people in the community who see them already. Thank you. You guys have supported us for years. There's so much love in this room. I'm always reminded of all the friendly faces, and it's an honor to be here and be invited back so often. Thank you so much for your kindness and your grace.
Ours is a simple faith. Life is a short embrace. Heaven is in this place every day. Hope is the ground we till. Make each day what you will. Thankful for dreams fulfilled every day. No room in this heart for fear. No judgment day drawing near. Just the voice you hear every day. Life's not a goal or race. It's about heart and faith, and
receive these gifts of your offering and pass them on. We know that we are called to do the work of blessing the world, and we can't do it alone. And so we give thanks, and we give a blessing, and we pass it on to those hands whose hands will touch it next, and to the love they spread and share. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for the gifts you've given. And so in this life we live, we are lifted up, and sometimes we are set down. Sometimes we are set down a little more solidly than we would wish. And so we come to church, we come to societies, we come to fellowships, we come to congregations, we come to places like this because we want a place to remember what to do when that happens in our life. What it means to find a place of center, a place of reflection, a place of pause on the forming edge of our lives. Would you join me in a moment of silent reflection and meditation? Spirit of life and love, in and amongst us all. This day, as we gather, there are hearts that are heavy among us, with losses, struggles, and sorrows. There are spirits that are angry at the world and the damage that is being actively done to it, at home and abroad, friends and allies who wonder who we are and who we have become. Today, in this gathered community, there are those struggling with illnesses that can be seen and those that remain invisible to the naked eye. There are people here today who are struggling financially, who are worried about work and jobs that may not be there tomorrow. And we hold them all. We hold also those who have come here with a joy to share in the midst of it all, worried that in a time and a place when so much is wrong, that they might not always be welcome sharing what is right. May we make in our hearts the space to hold it all, the good, the bad, the ugly, long enough to remember that we are part of it all, part of the peril and the possibility, so long as we make space for our own tender hearts and those of the people in our lives and in this world we share. And when we are ready, may we find our sunshine and spread it everywhere. Amen.
This is a choir song, but it's also a congregational song. So we're going to have a couple of choir-led congregational songs this morning. You'll hear either Tom Poole or the choir sing the line, and then you will echo, and Wyatt will show you when it's your turn.
Sorry.
as I figure out how far away from this microphone I can get. So, friends, I don't know if you have noticed this in your life or in your world, but it feels to me a lot like the world is on fire. Yeah, in your world too? Yeah. Indeed. In the literal and figurative ways alike, it is easy to feel and see and understand the world is on fire. But one of the things that feeds that conflagration, right, is the division that invites us to think that we are all in that struggle on our own. Did you hear each other? You are not actually alone, but there is a piece of the fire that comes from this idea that we are each and individually in it on our own, and that we are the resistance just hanging on by our fingernails, fighting every outrageous statement and action with the full force of our being, the kind of thing that makes you just want to get up and scream. You ever wanted to get up and just scream? It's all there. It's all there. Right? Sometimes I want to scream into the void, and sometimes there is a very specific person I want to scream at. But what I have come to learn, right, is that doing the important things alone is a near guarantee that I will not do them for the long haul. Right? It was George Odell who put it so well so many years ago when he said, "We need one another when we mourn and would be comforted. We need one another when we are in trouble and afraid. We need one another when we are in despair and temptation and need to be recalled to our best selves again. We need one another when we would accomplish some great purpose and cannot do it alone. We need one another in the hour of our success. When we look for someone to share our triumphs, we need one another in the hour of defeat when with encouragement we might endure and stand again. We need one another when we come to die and would have gentle hands prepare us for the journey. All our lives we are in need, and others are in need of us. Which is part of why I am so glad to be here this morning and to have Reverend Mike down the road at First Universalist. Some of you might have been here a few years ago when we relaunched this relationship, and Reverend Mike shared the amazing fact that in his 20 years of ministry here, it was the first time the senior minister from First Universalist had come to share a Sunday with you. And so we have made a commitment to remember that we are better together, the truth of those words so often said in our congregations, that we are better together. And here's the thing. When we do it, we remember that we are also not all the same. That First Unitarian and First Universalist are not the same congregations in different locations, but even still we remember those words so often said in our halls, but actually inspired by John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, that we need not think alike to love alike. And so it's good to have that cross-pollination, to build the world we dream about, because First Universalist needs a strong First Unitarian. And I hope you feel the same way. In times like these, We need one another because we need to remember how important it is to talk about, to share not just what we are against, but what we are for. Not just what we oppose, but also lifting up the views and the visions from the heart of our tradition so that the whole wide world can see another way is possible. The choice before us in moments like this is clear. We can play whack-a-mole, jumping at each and every one of those things that rightfully activates us and our loved ones, and we can end up exhausted and defeated by it. Or we can recognize that it is by casting our vision of a bigger and brighter and more inclusive future for everyone that we name and proclaim the sweeping power of a faith in the world, instead of falling into traps set by others who want nothing more than to distract us with the real work of the world. We can do what our religious ancestors have always done, which is work to build the kingdom of all humanity. And when we do that, when we stand up and when we say that we are all part of one human family, when we say to the whole wide world that each and every person deserves to be treated with dignity and respect and care and consideration, and there are ways that we approach the world, we cast a different vision, a different possibility. And the ways that we approach the world as Unitarian Universalists, the ways that we get things done, all of those things help us be ready so that when we get to the fires, we're prepared for what we are facing. And so this morning, I wanted to come and share with you a few thoughts that are inspired by a series we've been running at First Universalist about sort of the through lines of our faith, the foundations of this tradition. And I started there, and I thought it might be helpful here to just pause for a moment at the heart of the liberal faith that inspires the rest of it all. Because once you understand what that is, you can understand the importance and the meaning of what makes us distinct in the world and why we believe that this way of living in the world is important for us all. What is the heart of a liberal faith? It is the idea and the commitment to that idea that there is exactly one locus of authority for each and every one of us about the biggest, most important, and meaningful questions in our lives. And that authority lies not in some external source, not in some book or collection of books passed down for generations, not in the statements of a priest or, God forbid, a politician. But right here, in our own hearts. Now, years ago, the Unitarian Universalist minister, David Rankin, sat down. He wanted to write a list of the things that tied us together over time. And he had a list of 10 things that he put down. And the first 3 of them really speak to the thing that I want to lift up this morning. He said, we believe in the freedom of religious expression. All individuals should be encouraged to develop a personal theology to openly present their religious opinions without fear of censure or reprisal. We believe in the tolerance of religious ideas. The religions of every age and every culture have something to teach those of us who listen. We believe in the authority of reason and conscience. The ultimate arbiter in a religion is not a church, a document, or an official, but the personal choice and decision of an individual, or as the Reverend Jack Mendelson, now of beloved memory, put it in his book, Being Liberal in an Illiberal Age, published now 30 years ago. The most fundamental of all Unitarian Universalist principle, then, is the principle of freedom of religious belief. The principle of the free mind. And that is the difference between a traditional religion, a backwards-facing religion, if you will, one that looks forward. A traditional religion makes the bold claim that there was one set of truth. It was revealed to one small group of people in one place at one time, and that those teachings are unique and special and authoritative, and that what everyone has to do is to just trust them and live by them. No matter how much knowledge or wisdom or information that we have acquired, or how long ago they were said. And it has not escaped my notice, and I suspect it has not escaped yours, that in these backward-facing traditions there is a small group of authority figures who somehow, in spite of the fact that there are hundreds, if not thousands, of divergent opinions by other people who share the exact same set of texts with them, that those people have somehow come to the correct interpretations of those stories and teachings, and then it is our job to just fall in line. And most of us know how that feels, right? How it feels to be told that no matter what's in our hearts or our mind or our lived experience, that someone else is there to tell us what we've gotten wrong, and that they are the ones who have it right. And it is our job to just get our act together. I bet it's happened to a lot of you. Maybe it was at a revival or a church camp or a school, but at some point you realized, or maybe you were explicitly told, you asked too many questions. Maybe you were told it's a mystery or it's faith. And the experience was enough to tell you that what you needed to do was to shut up and accept it until you could get out of there. And whatever it was, you had this sense in your heart and your mind that you were being told something that wasn't right. It just didn't fit. And you couldn't reconcile it with what was being told to you. So the reason we gather here and at other places like it all across the nation and the world, the reason we come together in community is that because we are a part of a liberal faith, and that we know that part of being a liberal faith is recognizing that we don't have to do it alone. That we're not alone in it today or over time. And in fact, that over time and across space, that experience has happened again and again and again. And it's why the founding president, a man named Earl Morse Wilbur of the seminary that both Mike and I attended, it may astonish you to hear that that seminary is in Berkeley, California, that founding president of that seminary sat down to examine every outbreak of Unitarianism around the world. He put together 2 full volumes, 1,000 pages each, looking at the things that tied us together with the Socinians in Poland, the Unitarian churches in the Khasi Hills of India, the Unitarian churches in the Philippines, the gatherings of Theophilus Lindsay in England, the court preacher Francis David in Transylvania, who led to the first modern declaration of religious freedom under the only Unitarian king in history, John Sigismund of Transylvania. We're in all the best places. But what Wilbur said was that what tied all of those people in all of those places together were the 3 core ideas of freedom, reason, and tolerance. It was the rejection of creeds, the unwillingness to say that a book or books were written by anyone other than human beings who lived and loved and lost and grieved and struggled and were saved again and again and again by other human beings, just like we are today. And that whatever God might be in it, wherever the holy might be in it, that the test of something was whether it was right. And it was our job to use our minds and our experience and our understanding, and that no one, not a single other person, gets to tell us what to believe, and most certainly not just because they claim an authority over our hearts that they have neither earned nor deserved. Now, there is a risk in this, right? There is a risk that we all know, and the risk is that we also have to hold ourselves in account with reality. Now, I don't know how, and I know even less why, but there has been this rising movement of conspiracy theorists these last so many years whose rallying cry has been, do your own research. But they themselves do not do their own research, or in fact lean into the people who have. I don't know why, for example, but in a move that has blown my mind again and again and again, the flat eartherism has risen up once more. Along with hundreds of other wild claims disconnected not just from our experience, but the evidence on the ground, the curve of the earth we stand on, the satellites that fly overhead. So yes, you've got to ask good questions and ask what is moving in your heart, but you've also got to make sure it ties up with the world outside of you. Now that is true. But when we gather in a place like this, whether with our children, down in the RE classrooms, or as adults in the sanctuaries of our congregations, what we teach to adults and to children and to everyone who walks through our doors is that it is not from creeds or councils that truth ultimately comes, but that it is what we find again and again and again in a world that tells us how to understand our lives and our loves, and yes, our losses. How we understand our moral obligations and what it means to live well. Some 50 years ago, the Unitarian minister George Marshall wrote a book. It was titled The Challenge of a Liberal Faith. And in it he said, one is free to believe what one's conscience, mind, experience, and emotions lead them to affirm. Our fellowship is founded upon the free mind principle. And ours is an association that seeks to help a person develop the religion that is within each, rather than to merely give an external religion that can be put on like a suit of clothing. What can be put on, he said, can be taken off. And we feel that too many people find they have no religion when the chips are down. What makes sense when we have the background of organ music and the filtered light of colored windows often escapes us. We're involved in the hustle and the bustle of everyday life. Accordingly, if we can develop our own religion in terms of our beliefs, they can assist us in meeting the issues of life. And so what we come back to, again and again and again, is the way that there are two words that lie at the heart of so much of what we do. Tied to each other and tied to everything else, the words are liberal, and liberty. Liberal and liberty. Tied together in the free mind and the free faith, not because we all reach the same conclusions about particular political issues or policies, but because we recognize that if something is in fact really true, then, as Theodore Parker put it so many years ago, that the truth of the matter doesn't depend on who said it. It depends on the question of whether or not it is true. And for us, that truth, that personal freedom of belief, is the heart of everything else that we do. Not because Channing said it, or because Jesus said it, or because Murray said it, or because the Buddha said it, or even because our own General Assembly said it. but because we know in our hearts that a faith that is secondhand and doesn't live in our hearts and in our lives is a faith that falls short of the glory of all that is holy, all that is good. A faith like that falls short of all that is our life. So we gather here and in 1,000 other places each week to teach something different. And we know that when we live out that practice, life will always call us on, if we will make it so.
If you would go ahead and stand with us, rise in body and spirit. Rachel will be leading you in singing, and then the choir will be singing some different things in the background. So you can sing with Rachel.
That we journey on.
join us in singing our closing affirmation. Behind all our differences and beneath our diversity, there is a unity that makes us one and binds us forever together throughout all time, through life and death, and the space between the stars, throughout all time, through life and death, and the space between the stars. Thank you.
And so, friends, as you go into the week ahead, may you find the beautiful spirit in your own heart. Not the one someone handed to you, but the one that was there from the very beginning. Find it in those moments when the fires feel like they're about to consume you. And remember again and always who you are and who you're called to be. The world needs you. The world needs us. Go and be blessed and be a blessing.